everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, people of the stream. Very good to see everybody. I see Somnio Games is over on YouTube. Hey, friend, good to see you. And Sophia and Anita are on Twitch. And Anita let Pixie get her wild thing on, and she's so much cuter than she used to be. So, pretty adorable. And I don't even think the eyes are super creepy. It's the triangles on her skin. Like, that's the part that makes it all not work right. Sophia says, so on Monday I ran my first 5K in 2 years. It was in a new city, so I was not prepared for the giant ass hills. Who plans a route with 50 vertical meters for a casual charity race? Well, clearly they do. The result was quick downhill in the second half, though, and I beat my old 5K by 2 seconds. Personal best. PB is personal best. And I completely slaughtered my previous personal best at 1 kilometer. Good job, Sophia. Woo! Oh, Sophia bred the dragon and Anita fed it. Sorry, I actually didn't even go look. I just assumed. So, awesome. Awesome. So Pixie is now fed and bred. She's a very content little dragon now. So, all right. So, today is day before convention day. So, I am going to be on and off camera. Holly is actually going to the hotel tonight instead of tomorrow. So, she's going to come by this afternoon and pick up some of my boxes for my sales table, which I think will be the easiest piece for her to bring. Since I'm not packed, generally speaking. So I need to work on that. I also need to go down, work on a little bit of laundry. And so I'm going to be up and down during the sprint. So if I'm not on camera, don't be alarmed. I'm fine. I'm just running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Sophia says, yeah, but then my knee hurt a lot yesterday, so I might have shot myself in the foot or in the knee. Feel fine today, though. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Emily has joined us over on YouTube. Hey, Em. Emily says, present. Gonna try and get some words down today. Not sure exactly what yet, but just gonna start and see what comes out. Perfect. Side note, RE running. I'm training for a 10K currently. Look at y'all fit and fabulous people. I feel like such a blob. But yes, good job, y'all. Good job. Daniela has joined us over on YouTube. How are you feeling, Daniela? How's stuff? Good to see you. Emily said, also, I'll be dropping at 1 Eastern for a work meeting I have to be at. Bleh. Bleh. Work. Daniela says, a bit of crap work day, but it's over now. Now to get some other things done. And better things. More important things. Sophia says, I hope to be ready for a 10K at the end of the summer. Y'all are so awesome. Like, amazing. So, what's going on with me? So, I have this con this weekend, which I'm finally starting to get excited about. Although I'm also scheduling a bunch of medical appointments for my mom. So, I've got one of those next week. And, what else? I don't know. Packing. Getting everything ready. I'm trying to, I've got a bunch of books for my blind date with a book, but I do not have time to cover them up. So I bought these plastic bags. And so I'm going to like kind of double bag them so you can't see the covers. And then slap a sticker on the front describing what it is. So I'm also working on that sticker kind of template. And then also I'm printing out the flyers for the Friday night event that the authors put on, the Bedtime Stories event. So I'm printing out those, and also I want to print out a schedule because the hotel sustained some damage on New Year's Eve that affected a lot of the hotel, but specifically with the writer's track, our room is damaged. So they had to move us to a different room, which is kind of hard to find because it's off the beaten path. So I want to have actual schedules, the schedule of what's going on in that room up on the door, the outside of the door, the inside of the door, and then also at our writer's sales table. So I'm working on doing all that printing out of the things. So let's see. Daniela says important things like dinner. Yes. What's for dinner tonight, Daniela? Erica says hello. Welcome in, Erica. Good to see you. Good to see you. Erica's got work on something just for fun and practice. Yes, that's an excellent suggestion. Working. Oh, you're working. I thought you were telling people to do that. Erica is working on something just for fun and practice. Also, excellent. Anita says, I have a few odds and ends to finish first, but I might actually get some editing in today. Oh. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I apologize. Just bear with the yawning. Or not. I mean, it's up to you. Whatever you want. Daniela says, also, happy belated birthday and good luck at the convention. Thank you, my friend. Yes, yesterday was my birthday. Monday was my anniversary. So I still have my Remarkable, which I have been using like crazy. I'm so excited for this. I've actually been doing some writing in bed at night. I'm working on the lifeline, of the pirate in my book. So I'm working on like her backstory. So yeah. Let's see. Sophia is, gonna do some editing and finish her radio show short fanfic. You almost tripped me up there, Sophia. You almost got me, but it all came out correctly. Daniela says, I'll probably make a pasta salad. Yes. Sophia says, oh, but it's Eurovision Song Contest week. I saw some backstage video from that. So I'm very distracted by social media. Understandable. Eurovision. And, in the US, people don't really understand what a big deal Eurovision is. I mean, I certainly didn't until I married a European. Erica says, pasta salad. And I'm gonna eat on one of the sprints as well. Although so yesterday I had to take my mom to a CT scan. A lot of you know this already. I had to take my mom to a CT scan. It was just her quarterly check on the cancer and checking the nodules that are not yet cancerous to see if they're growing and becoming cancerous. So anyway, just normal thing. So, and she actually likes CT scans because my mother is weird. At any rate, on the way there, I stopped at Starbucks, got my free birthday drink. And then afterwards, we went up to Portillo's, which is this restaurant that, a restaurant chain in Chicago. It was very local to Chicago for most of my life. But they just opened one last year down here in Atlanta. It's far from me. It's north of my mom. For me to just go myself, it would take probably almost an hour to get there. But my mom is kind of 2/3 of the way there, so we just popped up and popped back down. And while I was there, I got a free piece of birthday cake. So I got the lemon cake, which was lovely. And of course I couldn't finish it all because it was a gigantic piece of cake. So I had that for breakfast this morning. And a banana. I'm not a complete and total heathen. I had a banana and the rest of my lemon cake. And it was an excellent breakfast. But I will get hungry. And I still have some Italian sausage left from that trip. So I'm going to be reliving birthday today. Sophia says about Eurovision, it is the TV highlight of the year. Yes, it's your Super Bowl is art. Because everything's better in Europe. I mean, not necessarily everything, but most stuff. So, most Americans have no idea what it's like for their country or for their government not to hate them. So anyway, so what I'm doing probably in this sprint, I'm waiting on my mom So when I was at my mom's yesterday, I was like, here, let me show you how to take a picture and then upload it to a chat. Like take a take a picture and then share it on the chat. She's like, I know how to do that. Even though like a month earlier she had said she didn't know how to do that. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I sent her a message asking her to take a picture of her Medicare card and put it in the chat because I feel like cuz one of the appointments, I've already made one of her appointments that I had to make today, but the other appointment, she's a new patient. So they're probably going to want all that. I mean, I know they're going to want all that information. So, so I'm going to see. I'm going to see. Because the thing is, she weaponizes her incompetence when she doesn't want to do stuff. And then she says she's competent at it when she doesn't want to practice it. Right? So, like, we're going to see. We're going to see how this works. We're going to see how this works, y'all. All right. I am not packed. My suitcase is not packed. It's got it's got my toiletries and my makeup in it. But like, and then I've got a pile of clothes that I've just been throwing toward the suitcase. But I've got to like really organize it and be like, okay, do I have underwear? Right? I've got to figure out what is literally in that pile and what I am missing from that pile, and then I have to work on packing it. But my main concern today, though, or right now, is getting the sales stuff squared away so that when Holly comes around after the stream, I can just like give it to her. All right. So, but I really wish this would charge faster. Okay. So, shall we get into it, y'all? Feel free to let us know if you're just joining us. Feel free to let us know in the chat what you're working on if you want to. You don't have to. I also need to, actually, I need to do this first. I need to fill my vitamin stuff because I cleaned out the whole week. Today was last day, so I have to refill it because I've got to pack it. So that's what I'm going to do first. That'll be easy, right? That'll be easy. All right. Shall we get into it, y'all? We've got 20 minutes. Okay, I want you to check out Spirit City. We're not looking for another spirit right now because I don't have brain cells for that. So I decided to set our little chick up playing the guitar. But look at our shrub pup. He's howling. He's singing along. Look at him. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, sorry. I found that adorable. Okay. I'm not seeing anything else in the chat, so let's get into it. We've got 20 minutes on the clock. If you see me turn the camera off, don't be alarmed. I'm just running around like a crazy person. All right, y'all ready? Let's go. All right. That's the end of the first sprint. How did you do? How did you do? I refilled my vitamin container, took all my meds, um, refilled the vitamin container, packed it, and did something else that I can't remember. Oh, I got my mom was able to upload the picture of her Medicare card. So in the next sprint, I'm gonna call and get an appointment made for her, and then I'm gonna go off camera because I need to finish printing those flyers for the event on Friday night, which means I need to like put in the. So I've got two different decorative papers. One is just a cute, colorful one, and then the other one is it looks like a scroll. So I had already printed the cute, colorful ones day before yesterday, I think, and then I need to print the scroll ones. So I'll be kind of up and down. I'm also while I'm downstairs because that's where the printer is. I'm going to also check the laundry and wash a couple things. So, Sophia is working at booking a hotel for her opera trip in September. Girl, you are so fancy. So fancy. I love it. You're going to see the opera. That's cool. I mean, that's what I'm assuming. I could be misunderstanding that sentence. Daniela says, cooking is in progress. The pasta and Beyond Meat are still sizzling, bubbling. I'll bet it smells very good in your house right now. Anita says, most of the odds and ends are done. Good job. Emily did incredible, to be honest. I think I have a conflict I like for this short story that is based off the character's goals, so made a brief outline, then went back and wrote a hook of 200 words. Good job, Em. Good job. I got really good feedback from that Facebook post, including from University of Chicago? UFC? Oh, from me. You, of course. Y'all with your text speak, man. Stop it. Oh, man. I totally misunderstood that initially. Okay. Sophia says, yeah, I mentioned earlier in a comment that I met my goal for number of shifts in May. So a ticket to La Traviata is my reward. That's awesome. I love that. Yes. Okay. So I also probably, while I'm doing the running up and down, I will probably stop in the kitchen for a little bit because I have oat milk. I needed to make a batch, so I had enough to take with me for the weekend. And so, I had put it in the strainer, but I didn't actually strain it all. And then I set it up to wash, and now that I think about it, I don't think I turned it on for the self-cleaning. I know I didn't. I hooked it up, I plugged it in, I put the lid on it, and then I forgot to start it, because of course I did. So I guess on the way down to the downstairs, I will check on those things. So, Emily says, my bad. Yeah, sorry, yeah, I abbreviate a lot. Yeah, you do. Well, and, it's really the, of course, part, like, I mean, I'm old internet, right? We did all the original acronyms that you have, like, LOL and, all of that. That's fine. I can do all that. I don't like the U's, but whatever. But, like, the of course, because, again, OFC can be many things. Okay, anyway, so yeah, it confused me clearly. Sophia says, and without planning to, it seems I have booked my hotel on the same street as the opera, so I might be psychic. I mean, you might be. That's true, you might be. You might be. All right, so let's get into the next sprint. Like I said, I'm going to be up and down from the chair, so I'm probably going to be off camera for a good portion of it. But, I'm getting shit done, right? I think I have a scratch on my... Oh, no, you know what? I think I got super glue on my hand. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, let's do it again. 20 minutes. Here we go. Almost missed the timer, y'all. All right, how'd everybody do? One of my authors just texted me saying that they didn't get the preliminary email they should have gotten for the con this weekend. So I am in the process of trying to track that down and figure out what's going on with that. So, but I did get my stuff printed. So look, here's the like just the plain one. Here's the cute colorful one. And then here is the scroll. Right? Cute, right? So that part's done. So, let's see how everybody else did. Let me scroll back a little bit. Scroll back. Okay. Heather over on YouTube said, well, that's exactly what I needed. I got a services promo done. I also moved my things back into my usual workspace and attempted to pair my brand new headphones to this iPad. Like, the attempted part is the important bit, right? Emily says, I'm so mad I have to stop for work right now. Mentally, I'm on a roll. Got another 400 words done and want to keep writing because I'm genuinely excited about this story right now, but gotta go pay the bills. Talk to you later. All right, Emily, hopefully we'll be here when you get done and you can jump right back into it. So good luck. Sophia says, I just planned my trip stuff. I will go back to editing now, though. Excellent. Daniela says, devouring the salad. It's delicious. Huzzah. Nice. So we get a little breaky break. I could probably use a top off of my tea, but I definitely need to use the restroom. So, yeah. Oh, there's more. You know, I sometimes miss scrolly stuff. Erica said, working on second character sheet. Excellent. Anita says, finished the odds and ends. Awesome. Thank you, Erica, for thinking my pronouns are cute. Molly says, I have made fantastic progress. Now browser only freezes every second time I tell it to do something. I mean, yeah. What you might want to do is just close it all down and then reopen it all. Because sometimes when it's, especially if you've got a lot of tabs open and or windows with a lot of tabs, like multiple windows with a lot of tabs open, just make sure that your browser is set to remember what you most recently closed. There's also a really cool, what's it called? Plugin. I was having trouble with that word. Called Workspaces that lets you save like different windows. I have one for like my social stuff, one for my convention planning stuff, one for my teaching English as a second language stuff. And yeah, so that's very helpful because it remembers multiple window configurations. But closing all of the windows down and then reopening the browser fresh will often help that. Because the longer it stays open, the more gunk it has, the more baggage it has, basically. So, okay. Daniela says, also, the spirit singing is the best thing that's happened today. Thanks for pointing that out. Oh, did I miss? Oh, the spirits. Oh, the little, I was very confused for a second. Yes, our little shrub pup. Oh. And then he goes, oh. It's so cute, right? Okay. Molly says, close it all down and lose all my tabs. Are you daft? As well as a draft writer? Wow. I explained to you how not to lose your tabs. I explained that. There's also an extension called OneTab that will create a single tab and you can save all of your open tabs to that and it puts all the links in there. And then you can close your browser down, reopen it, and then you can just hit a button and open all the tabs that you put onto one tab. There are lots of ways to get around losing your tabs, but the longer you keep your browser open with all those tabs, the slower it gets and slower it gets and slower it gets. So, If you're going to do multiple windows and multiple tabs, you need to learn how to do it efficiently so you don't lose all that shit, is what I'm saying. So, Molly says, well, I can't help it that you were talking while I typed. Well, yes, you can. You can stop typing while I talk. That's what everyone should do. Stop everything and just listen to me. All right, let's put 5 minutes on the clock. We're going to be right back. I'm also going to check the AC and see if it's running because I'm getting a little warm, but it might also be all the running around I'm doing. Molly says, I am checking out the first plugin you mentioned. Excellent. I like this one because I can always open whatever I want. You know, like I said, I've got like 5 different... I've also got one because I do Go Indie Now's late night news once a month. I also have a workspace that is all the news. Like, you know, when I run across a link, it's like, oh, that would be good for late night news. I open that window and I move that one over to that window, and then I close the window again. So yeah, it's very helpful. Okay. So, Daniela says, I'm usually fine with closing everything if I have to. It's like starting a new life. I love decluttering a lot. Yeah, I'm so bad at decluttering. But there's also an option if you only ever generally have one browser window open with a bajillion tabs, there's also a settings in your browser that it will when you open a new instance of the browser, it remembers the last time it was closed. So I always have that on too. So, all right, but let's take a quick little break. I got 5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to use the restroom. I've still got half a cup of tea, so that's fine since I'm going to be up and down the stairs and stuff. So I'll stop and get tea when I need to. And probably, I don't know, maybe next sprint I might have lunch. I've still got to finish these. Oh, it's only 1 o'clock. So I've still got time to finish these sales table boxes. All right, let's be right back. I'm going to go use the restroom. If you need to use the restroom, or if you need something to eat, or you need something to drink, it's the perfect time to do it. Also, if you've been sitting down this whole time, get up and move your body around a little bit. It will be very, very helpful in the future. Also, if you haven't taken your meds yet, take your meds. Or well, if you should have taken them by now. If you don't take them till like bedtime, don't do it now. So, but I've already taken all mine, so I'm the cool kid so far. Catch up. Okay, but we're gonna be right back, and then we'll chitty chat some more. Maybe. I hit the wrong button. Alright, I'm back. Alright, my point of sale thing is almost fully charged, which means I'll be able to pack it. And once I do that, this box will be ready to go. So, this box? No, that box. So, what else? Yeah, I don't know. At some point, I'm going to have to eat. I do have my mom's Medicare information, so I will need to call and make that appointment, which I'm probably going to do during the next sprint. What else? I don't know. I'm already tired, y'all. I haven't even started eating yet, and I'm already exhausted. Yeah. But I think it'll be a good con. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. A lot of my friends I haven't seen in a long time are going to be there. So that'll be nice. Which of your events is the one this weekend? This weekend's called Frolicon. It is a 21 and up convention. So, yeah. It's a fun one. It's different than the other cons I go to. I've been doing it for, like, I guess 15 years at this point, I think. I think my very first one might have been 2010, I think. 2011, something like that. So, yep. Lol page. I'm not sure what that meant. What did I miss? Woot, have fun. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to have a couple authors there that have never been to this event before. And like I said, it's a lot different than other events. So we'll see how that all goes. Joel, I somehow, and this is the second time this has happened in probably a month or so, but I got a cut on the pad of my thumb, and it is taking forever to heal. Oh, no children sounds like bliss. Oh, it is. It is. It is awesome. Yes, no children, no one under the age of 21. So yeah, it's definitely an adult convention. So, all right, shall we get back into it? So this round, I'm gonna, what did I say I needed? Oh, I need to figure out that thing for the author that didn't get her email. And then, what else? Oh, make that appointment for my mom. Molly says to Danielle, Daniela likes to declutter, and closing down browser and losing tabs feels like a new life to them. Oh, that's the context of my LOL page. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, thank you. That helped. Thank you, Molly. Okay, makes much more sense. So, Tubby Nugget says, get your shit together, let's go. All right, 20 minutes. Here we go, y'all. Okay, y'all, that's the end of that sprint. How'd you do? I got the appointment made, and um, I messaged about that badge, and the person I messaged doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying. So, yeah. Sophia has 4 pages left. You're so close. So close. So close. So I feel like I did good that round. I got to cross a couple things off of my list. So next sprint, I am going to get food because I'm getting hungry. So I'm going to get some tea, heat up the remainder of my Italian sausage sandwich. Then, while that's happening, I'm going to run downstairs, check the laundry, and yeah. So then I'm going to come up and eat. That's what I'm going to do in the next sprint. Do y'all know what you're going to do in the next sprint? Let's see. Molly says, hi, Heather. Oh, Daniela said, hey, Heather, because Heather said, hey, only if / page. Okay. So Anita says, I did some editing and the paper has now been retrieved from the purse instead of revived. I'm assuming that's what's happening in the story. Y'all, I'm having trouble understanding words today. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with me right now. Maybe I'm having a stroke or something. So, all right. But like I said, I'm going to get some food, so I'm going to be off camera for part of the sprint at least. Erica's figuring out what kind of alien I want in my story. That's a fun one. I like it. I like it. Sophia says, gotta love those moments in writing. Huzzah. All right. Daniela says, I've shared a YouTube event idea with some friends, and it sounds like it's going to be tough as a lot of people are already booked for the foreseeable future, I'm assuming. Ugh. That's always frustrating, right? I get that. Anita says, that was my typo in the story. Revived instead of retrieved. Got it. Got it. Okay, that makes more sense to me. All right. Shall we go? All right. 20 minutes. Let's go. All right, I had my lunch. It was so yummy. And I'm going to have to get on a call in the next sprint with the person that I'm trying to work out this registration issue with. It's really frustrating because the way I run the track is different than the way the rest of the con runs, in that I run the track the way a regular writer's track is run, meaning the director creates the schedule, maybe with input from the authors or not. In my case, yes. And then creates the schedule, assigns the authors to which panel they're going to be on, obviously also with their consent. And then I turn in the schedule, which means that when but the rest of the con, you can apply directly to run a workshop, run a class, do a panel, that kind of stuff, right? So I keep being told by my director that all of my authors need to go through that application. Like, they don't go all the way through the process because they're automatically approved, but they have to do that, because if they don't do that, they're not in the database. So it's like, fine, except they don't know. And the way that application is set up is you have to input what event you're wanting to create, whether it's a panel or a class or whatever. And obviously they don't have that information yet because our schedule is not done before the application window closes. So we've been hemming and hawing. It used to be that I would just give registration the list of my authors and be done with it. And that worked perfectly fine for quite a long time. And then after that, since the pandemic, really since the person who now is my director became my director, they want all of the authors to go through the sign up process. And so what we've done, we've done it all different ways almost every year. And finally this year, and I've tried to explain to them why it's problematic for us to fill out the thing. We can do it, but it's not going to get the classes in there because that schedule isn't made yet. Okay, so anyway. So what we did this year is my director, who isn't very reliable in terms of communication, I wrote this big long email, sent it to her, CC'd her director, and said, who used to be my director, right? So they added an extra layer to help offset some of the responsibilities. So I sent an email and I said, look, this is why we can't do this the way everybody else does this application. Here's why. Here is what I propose. I have them do the application, so you have them in your database the way you want. I have them do the application, but instead of in the sessions telling what the sessions are because they don't know yet, just say, they're part of the ink track. And they're like, okay, fine, that's fine. And we've done that in the past as well. Now, not all the authors do it, because it's like herding cats, right? Not everybody does it when they're supposed to do it. People forget, it falls through the cracks, whatever. So then we also have a VIP list. So generally speaking, when the application closes, I add the additional people to the VIP list. But in the past, I've had situations where people who actually did the application didn't have a badge, and I had to go down to registration and do all the things I had to do to make sure they got their badges. And the people I put on the VIP list got their badges. And that's happened in the past, which is why we kept changing it in so many ways. Well, this time, my director said, yes, that's fine. And what I'll do is we have this other spreadsheet that we work with. And she said, when they do that application, I will put them on the spreadsheet, and then you can set them as approved or not approved. And then that's how that'll work. Awesome. That's great. Perfect. And of course, only half of my authors did it and the other half didn't. So I put the other half on the VIP list, and the author that messaged me is one of the ones who did the application. And that's how I recognized that that's what the problem is. So I reached out to the person who is she's the top she's one of the top rung people, right? And so I said, look, can you check and see if this author is on the list? And da 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 da. And dude, you're gonna knock all that shit down. What are you doing? And turns out the author that filled out the application is not on the registration list. And so now I have to go through my thing. I've got to go grab that list that my director gave me that I said is approved, that she obviously didn't make approved in the database. And I have to talk to this upper person who is fine. We're friends, and give her this list because as usual, my director didn't do her fucking job. And I'm just so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I had to vent a little. We get a break. Okay, let me see what everybody else has to say. All right. Molly says, thank you for the sprints, Vanessa. I'm switching over to some cookies. So for those who don't know, KU/Kindle reading challenge where there are sprints happening 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the entire month of May on YouTube. So you can do a search for KUKI and you will find streams. So, and then she says, hope you have a fabulous time at Frolicon. Thank you, Molly. Thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Molly says, bye all. Good job with getting some stuff done today. Yes. Ariel says, hi. Ariel's going to be there this weekend. That's going to be fun. Sophia says, I finished, so now I'm getting ready to post. Huzzah! Good job. Rachel Taylor. Welcome in, friend. Rachel Taylor's over on Twitch. She says, hey there, everyone. In good news, I hit the midpoint crisis moment on Halo yesterday. Woohoo! It's taken forever to get there. On not so good news, I woke up this morning to back pain, a bruised knee, and an out-of-control histamine issue. So I'm officially doing nothing until the meds kick in. And then when the meds kick in, you'll be doing everything as a zombie. So, wow. So did you go to bed with the bruised knee? Or did you, were you doing ninja moves in your sleep? Or, how did you get, I get the back pain, everybody's getting older, right? But, seriously. Erica says, my laptop started doing something funky with the screen and is already falling off the hinges. So now I'm buckling down on looking for a laptop. Excellent. Definitely wait for the big sales. If you can wait until the end of May, Memorial Day sales will be going on, and stuff like that. So definitely also look at the manufacturer's sales, because a lot of times if you get the laptop directly through the manufacturer, like HP or Dell or whichever one you want to go with, you can sometimes get it at a cheaper price. And Dell also has refurbished models. Just do a Google search on Dell refurbished, and you can get some really good deals. That's how I used to always get my laptops and a lot of our desktop computers when we used desktops, was that. So, all right. Daniela says, are you having cons kind of back to back now, or are some of the ones you mentioned other times happening later in the year? I have a con about once a month. So there's one in June. I don't think I have one in July. I never have one. I hardly ever have one in August, but I don't think I have one in July because, Comic-Con got canceled because of, the World Cup. So I don't think I have one in July or August. And then, of course, we have Dragon Con the first weekend of September, and then Multiverse in October. Also Decatur Book Festival in October. So yeah, I've got several more cons to go before the end of the year. So, let's see. Sophia says, great job, Rachel. Too bad about the somatics. Yes. Anita did some more editing. Good. Rachel Taylor says, a horse knocked me over yesterday and I landed on my knees. It was fine all day yesterday, and then this morning I woke to it being all swollen. The histamine issues may be making it worse. That's probably true. My body overreacts to things. Yay, autoimmune issues. And you're right about the drugged state, but that's what caffeine is for. That's right. Better living through chemistry, friends. You're welcome, Erica. All right, so we get a little breaky break. And then directly after that, we're gonna have to we're gonna get 5 minutes and that's it because I've got to call this person also. So let me go ahead and start the red timer. I don't really need to go off camera, so we're just gonna start the timer here, and we'll just chitty chat for 5 minutes, and then we'll get back into the next sprints because I filled up my tea when I went down to get my lunch, so I'm good with that. Heather over on YouTube says, I can relate to all of this con stuff. Our returning guests haven't had to do a proper application. We're changing some things and refining our process. Yeah. And I said, I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to have them fill out the application anymore because they end up, it ends up not working. It's a big hassle for them. It's a big hassle for me, because I have to explain exactly what to put in each, in each place. And so, and 1 year, because I always do the application first and then I make notes on what they need to put where. And 1 year when I did mine, when I wasn't also teaching outside my track, when I did mine, I didn't have a badge. I literally did not have a badge, and I'm a director. So anyway, I mean, here's the thing. The director right above me, I like her. I like her as a human being. But she's not good at what she's doing. She would be good if she could be consistent with it. When she's consistent, she's good. She's just not ever consistent. I had 1 year, I literally, after the very first email at the very beginning of planning, which is a month or two after the end of the current show, I got one email from her and then I never heard from her again. Not a single word from her. She didn't reply to any of my emails because I needed to ask, how are we doing registration this year? She didn't reply to anything. She didn't respond to any email I gave her at all. Until right before the first in-person staff meeting we had. And then she emailed me apologizing. And, she had a rough year. And y'all know me. I understand life being crazy and stuff. Just say something. Reply in some way. Even if it's, hey, I can't do this right now. Ask so-and-so. And I'll be like, cool, I'll go ask so-and-so. So, yeah. Sophia says, her fanfic is posted. I'm going to put it over on YouTube for those who are on YouTube who might want to check it out. But if you are on Twitch, you can see it right there. This is Sophia's newest fanfic. All right, there we go. So it is now also on YouTube. Sophia says, I'm very happy with it, but no, I don't expect anyone here to read it. You don't know. You don't know us. I mean, you do. Heather says, I stepped away and started prepping for making some pita bread. Also a quick treat. I love me some pita bread. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, so I'm just really frustrated with how this seems to always play out and how my authors are always the ones that get screwed. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm very annoyed. Anyway. What else is going on? Yeah, I don't know. I'm really glad I got those appointments taken care of for my mom, though. And hopefully... So that means I have to go take my mom to 2 doctor's appointments next week, and then another one the week after. Wait. Or is it 3? Hang on. No, 2. One on Tuesday and one on Friday. That also means next Friday, we are not going to have co-working. Sorry, y'all. But that's because we already had an appointment on Tuesday. I'm not available on Monday. And the doctor I want her to see doesn't work on Mondays anyway. So, yeah. So Friday is it. Friday is it. Let's see. Heather says, I'm going to watch the replay and get some info on all of the Atlanta area cons. Yeah, so you'll want to look at Jordan Con, which is in April. We have 22B, which I think was this month, or was it in April, or was it in March? I don't remember. It's not one I regularly attend. I mean, I've never attended it. We've got MomoCon, which is mostly anime and stuff, which is one of the bigger cons. Of course, Dragon Con. Oops, there's a timer. And of course, Multiverse in October. And what else? And Atlanta Comic Con is usually I don't know, sometimes it's in January, sometimes it's in July. And we, TWT, usually get a big booth for that. But again, like I said, it's canceled for this year because of the World Cup. Yeah, oh no, not having a badge. Well, I mean, it's fine. I just go down to registration. I'm like, where's my badge? And, whatever. But it's just, like, I have to do something like this every single year. And it's like, oh. And the thing was, if they just let me deal directly with registration, deal direct, be in the database and that, then this wouldn't happen because I would make sure it was all taken care of. But they don't. So, all right, anyway. Our timer went off, so I'm going to turn off the red timer. We're going to get back into another 20 minutes. I'm going to go off camera again because I'm going to make that phone call and talk to my big boss in that con. So, 20 minutes, y'all. Here we go. Okay, how'd you do? I handled that telephone call. We worked it out. I sent the email I needed to send to make sure these authors actually have badges. I need to mark down that I need to do a thing. Email authors free badges. Because I can't do that right now because I really need to finish up the sales, organizing my sales stuff. Because Holly's probably gonna be here in like an hour to pick this shit up, so I need to have my shit together. Sophia watched some Eurovision videos. Yes, love it, love it, love it. Daniela says, okay, it seems like my little YouTube event will be able to happen. Expect your invite, Vanessa. Invite me, babe. If I can, I will be there. Why does it sound like a threat? I will threaten you with my YouTube idea. Rachel Taylor made 1.75 TikTok videos. I'm going to finish up the last 0.25 and then see if I can get back to Halo. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let's see if I missed stuff. No, okay. All right. Shall we jump back in, my friends? We'll do 2 more sprints because it's already 2:30, so we'll go a little bit late, but not crazy. Because, like I said, I've got to get this done. So 2 more sprints, and then we'll wrap it up. Anita's still editing. Progressed a whole paragraph more. Not a whole paragraph. But yay, you're chugging along. That's what's important, right? All right. So let's get back into it. I'm going to be turning around and probably sometimes off camera and doing things. And I feel like I'm missing something, which means there's probably a box somewhere that has some shit in it that is part of my sales table but has been relocated somewhere else. So I'm gonna go down and double check that. But first I'm going to pull out the actual boxes of books to see if anything that is supposed to be in my organizational boxes is actually in a book box. Because, you know, at the end of a vending thing, as long as everything gets into some container, I don't really pay attention to what container. I mean, I try to keep this stuff in the containers they're supposed to go in, but that doesn't always happen. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. Ariel's still doing day job stuff. Excellent, excellent. Daniela says, I need to do a big shower next. All right. Well, let's get into it. You go get your shower, friend. All right, 20 minutes, y'all. Here we go. Maybe. There we go. All right, how'd everybody do? So I got the 2 boxes of actual books packed. I did check downstairs to see if I had missed something. I did not. It just feels like my non-book boxes should have more stuff in them. Usually it's anyway, I just feel like I'm missing something, but I can't figure out what it is. So, but I don't know what I would be missing because literally I don't unpack these boxes. I just, reorganize them. So, let's see. Heather says over on YouTube, I have been in DMs and also tried for what seems to be the millionth time to download an EPUB document to my iPad for a beta read, but I think I will see about getting it into my Kindle app. Yeah. I don't know. I don't deal with the Amazon ecosystem for ebooks, so I don't know how to help you. Not that you asked for help, but I have no suggestions. Ariel says, I did my job, but I should also pack at some point today. Yes, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, my friend. I get to see you. Let's see. Anita says, I did research and changed a sentence. Huzzah! Yes. Rachel Taylor says, I made another TikTok video. That's the last one, though, by force. They are fun and fast, but fulfill my creative urges that really need to be aimed at the actual book. Yeah, I feel that. So, yeah, I mentioned earlier that I've been using my Remarkable for lots of things, but one of the things I've been doing is in the evening, before I start reading, I take some time and write a little bit on the backstory of my pirate character for the Witch Marks book. So I'm still working on... So the pirate character is long dead in the time of the book, but it's all about, like, she's a part of the book. So I decided that I needed to... I had, like, this nebulous idea of who she was, but I needed to really dig into it. So I've worked out some things, like she ran away from home because it was an abusive environment, and she lived on the streets for a little while as a child, and then she stowed away on a merchant ship. So that's where I am right now. Ultimately, the merchant ship is going to get taken by pirates. The cook on the pirate ship is going to recognize that this is not a boy child, but a girl child, physically. She had obviously cut her hair and stuff to pass herself as a boy to remain safe. She's not trans, just to be clear, but... And part of that is because she has such a big part in it. I am not the voice for that, right? But either way, she identifies as a woman, always has. And so still as a child, she understood the dangers of being a girl in the world versus being a boy in the world. So she had cut her hair, and so when the merchant ship gets taken over by the pirate ship, the pirate the cook on the pirate ship recognizes that she's a girl, although they keep her dressed as a boy. But the cook takes her on, and the cook is a woman. She's a big woman, a really big woman. So nobody messes with her because she will punch a guy right back in the face. And so anyway, so I've been working out that. So, but let's go ahead and get into the next sprint. Holly just let me know that she is on her way to my house to pick up this shit that I'm still not quite done putting together, but almost done. So let's get going, because she's probably going to be pulling in the driveway about the time we're going to be wrapping up. All right, 20 minutes. Let's go. All right, y'all, that's it. That's it. We're done. We're done. I did get all my sales stuff packed. The only thing I didn't do is those cute little things that I printed out. I didn't put those in the box. I'll just put them in my backpack because I still need to print out the track schedules, and I want that all in the same place. So I'll put that in my backpack when I pack that up. So Daniela got a shower. Yes, also tidied up the kitchen and made peppermint tea. I do love mint tea. I prefer spearmint to peppermint, but I always prefer spearmint to peppermint and everything. But I'll drink peppermint tea. I love mint tea. It's yummy. So, all right. Y'all continue to check in. I am going to go over the events of the coming week as I know them, and it is pretty sparse this week, y'all. Not going to lie, because there's more than one person who runs sprints that is going to this con. So, nothing tomorrow, nothing on Friday. On Saturday, we have Saturday Discord sprints with Daylin, obviously over on the Discord. If you are not part of the Discord and want to be, just put in the chat, put !Discord, and you will get the link. So writing sprints on Saturday will be 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Eastern time. These are all going to be Eastern time. If you just go, in the channel list, in the sprinting section, there's a voice channel for sprints. Pop in there 10 a.m. on Saturday, and Daylin will be in there waiting. On Sunday, we have Sunday morning write-in with Lisa Raby. She goes from 10 a.m. until 12. She did confirm today that she will be holding that this week. So 10 a.m. to 12 on Sunday. Then Sunday evening at 7 p.m., we have got our usual Zoom chat. The event is up in the Facebook group. If you haven't voted on the topic or topics of your choice, please do that. Also, I will not be hosting that. Sean will be, but you are in excellent hands, as always. So that will be from 7 until about 8:30 is usually about how long it goes. On Monday, we have nothing. Let me delete that because we don't have that on that day. Okay. On Tuesday at 7 p.m., we have a writing sprints with Miss Amelia. She goes from 7 until 9. That brings us round to next Wednesday, where we'll be doing this all again. Next week will be a regular schedule from me, except for Friday, and we'll talk about that next week. All right. Let's see. Daniela says, thanks for the sprints and have fun. Thank you. Also, I'm going to put in, hopefully this will work, or not. There it is. Also, if you want to, that's super weird. It went twice on YouTube, but not at all on Twitch. Stupid thing. Okay, anyway. If you want to check out other YouTube streamers who are doing productivity sprints or reading sprints or writing sprints, if you go to tinyurl.com/sprints Google Doc, you will find the sprinting Bible. Okay. Booktube Bible, that's what it's called. All right. Let me see what other people have said. Rachel Taylor said, I did absolutely nothing useful, which I'm choosing to celebrate. So woohoo! Yes, next I'm going to take a nap. That is incredibly useful. So Holly should be here any minute. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Have a good weekend. And I will be back next Wednesday. Those of you I may be seeing this weekend, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And with that, we're going to take off. All right. So bye y'all. Bye, bye, bye.